Hi everybody, welcome back or welcome to the channel. It's your boy Reactee, and we're back for another Fright Night Friday. And today we're gonna do a channel I haven't done in a little while, Slapped Ham. This is the heartbreaking story behind this ghostly photo. Let's jump right into it.
How you doing? I'm Callan and this is Slapped Ham. You're about to witness the scariest videos that have hit the internet this week. So hit that subscribe button and get ready for more creepy content. Just like this. Two viral clips have been creeping out viewers on TikTok and Reddit, each depicting alleged paranormal entities lurking around trampolines. The first comes from the TikTok user The Bonehead, who regularly posts unsettling paranormal content. In their recent upload, something strange is caught on camera.
See that? Watch. Look. Look. There's somebody in the trampoline. But there's not somebody in the trampoline.
It looks like someone is jumping on the trampoline.
Oh my god. It stopped. It's getting out, but there's nothing. Oh my god.
Okay, to me that looks like wind blowing this thing back and forth. It's a little harder to explain why it looks like there's something underneath, like down here underneath the trampoline. It doesn't look like the top's moving, but it looks like it's still springing down. It's weird.
The second video, which surfaced several years ago on Reddit from user Spiders, are disgusting is arguably even creepier. If you look closely, you can see a pale figure dressed in white, eerily reminiscent of Samara from The Ring, crawling from beneath the trampoline. Despite its unsettling realism, Reddit detectives proposed detailed editing theories. They speculated the figure was digitally inserted, possibly composited from a separate clip. Others argued it could simply be a real person hiding under the trampoline, startled into fleeing when the jumper approached. Either way, despite whatever these eerie clips are really showing, maybe next time you'll think twice about double bouncing your friend into oblivion.
That's the one thing I like about Slapped Ham videos. There are little funny bits through the whole thing. The other ones, Nuke's Top 5, Fearsome, Mind Junkie, the rest, they all have little bits of funny in them, but Slapped Ham seems to have funny with every clip. I like that.
A deeply unsettling image shared on Reddit by user Conscious4434 has been causing chills across the paranormal community. The photo, taken about a year ago, shows the uploader sitting in the driver's seat of a car during an extremely difficult personal period marked by addiction and suicidal thoughts. At first glance, it appears to be a typical selfie until you look closely at the user's eye. Instead of a normal pupil, the eye reveals a bizarre stark white horizontal slit with a glaring distortion cutting unnaturally across both the iris and sclera. The Reddit community quickly began dissecting possible explanations. One widely supported theory is the rolling shutter effect, a common artifact in smartphone photography caused by rapid movements during image capture.
Yeah, that's what I would say it would be too. It's got to be a camera artifact. I don't know, maybe a light flashing in a weird direction that the camera couldn't quite pick up and therefore had no way to compensate for it. But yeah, camera artifact still. It's definitely a weird one, but yeah, that's probably just a camera artifact.
Phone cameras scan an image sequentially. Even slight head or eye movement during exposure can create such distortions. Yet perhaps the most compelling element is how the user interpreted this anomaly. Given their emotional state at the time, they felt it symbolized a demonic darkness within, turning a potential technical glitch into something deeply personal and symbolic. Several commenters resonated with this interpretation, sharing their own unsettling experiences during difficult life periods. So what do you make of this eerie image? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. In 2021, TikTok users stumbled upon a series of deeply unsettling videos starring a dog named Cracker. Uploaded by a mysterious creator known as Hard-Boiled Toe, these clips rapidly sparked fear and speculation, evolving into a full-blown internet urban legend.
I've been getting a lot of questions about my dog Cracker. He's half Cocker Spaniel and Australian Shepherd.
Cracker, described as a rescue from Japan, supposedly a mix between a Cocker Spaniel and an Australian Shepherd, quickly became notorious due to his disturbingly unnatural appearance.
He's half Cocker Spaniel and Australian Shepherd. I rescued him. He's from Japan. Do you want a tree? Yeah? You want a tree?
Viewers consistently expressed unease, describing the dog as demonic or simply not looking right. But the story didn't end there. Subsequent videos introduced cryptic messages, including chilling text overlays suggesting he's gonna K1L me, a disguised threat implying mortal danger. Almost as suddenly as the story appeared, the original TikTok accounts vanished, leaving no concrete answers behind.
There's no way that's an actual dog, right? That's one of her friends in blackface trying to scare the crap out of everyone. I haven't seen one yet where the dog's actually not in a closet or somewhere dark. That's definitely a human face, right?
This disappearance further amplified the mystery, fueling speculation that something genuinely sinister had occurred. Despite the chilling backstory, most viewers agree the Cracker videos were part of an elaborate alternate reality game or short-form online horror project. Investigators quickly uncovered the creator's fascination with the SCP Foundation, a popular online horror fiction community supporting the ARG theory. Still, with the creator long gone and
Yeah, that makes more sense. It's definitely a fake something or other just for clicks and views. Yeah, that's not real. I didn't think it was.
Original footage difficult to access, often re-uploaded on copycat accounts, the legend of Cracker the demonic dog endures as a captivating and deeply unsettling piece of modern digital folklore.
I rescued him. He's from Japan. Do you want a tree? Yeah? You want a tree?
In early 2025, a ghost hunt took a shocking and nearly deadly turn in the remote community of Amigo, West Virginia. Paranormal investigator Fred Shrewsbury was conducting a routine investigation when he crossed paths with local resident Cord Sargent, triggering a violent confrontation. Though details on what sparked the initial dispute remain unclear, the encounter escalated rapidly. Sargent reportedly fired a warning shot from a rifle, prompting Shrewsbury to flee. However, in a surprising twist, Shrewsbury soon returned to the scene, leading to a dramatic exchange of gunfire between the two men. The incident didn't involve ghosts, but rather highlighted the real-world dangers paranormal investigators can face, particularly regarding trespassing, local hostility, and the presence of firearms. West Virginia's history of firearm-related incidents and disputes underscores the gravity of such encounters, emphasizing the risks investigators face when tensions boil over. While specifics on arrests, charges, or injuries are currently unknown, this unsettling episode serves as a stark warning to ghost hunters everywhere.
That's one thing I never got about ghost hunting. People wander into abandoned homes. You don't know if someone's living there or not. Squatters. There's even been cases of they don't call themselves squatters or sovereign citizens, taking up residence in places that look abandoned or haven't been used in a while, and then just illegally staying there even after they've been told to leave. But places that are haunted and you go to them, a lot of people go with firearms now. I don't understand why. It's just strange to me. Yeah, this is a sad story, actually.
Tread carefully because sometimes the living pose a far greater threat than the dead. When Reddit user Droox Hopper stepped outside their house one seemingly ordinary evening, they had no idea they'd soon be facing something utterly chilling. After briefly leaving to feed their chickens, they turned back and saw a pale, ghostly face staring at them from an upstairs bathroom window. Terrified, they snapped 2 photos, one of the empty window and another clearly showing a hauntingly pale face peering outward. The unsettling photographs quickly spread across the paranormal subreddit, igniting fierce debate.
That's a little strange. Home alone, go out to feed your chickens, turn around, there's somebody in your bathroom window staring at you? Yeah, I don't like that.
About what or who the figure could be. Skeptics offered detailed analysis, noting discrepancies in image quality and potential digital artifacts, strongly suggesting the photos may have been altered. But another, even more terrifying possibility emerged. Could this be an intruder secretly living in the user's home? Concerned commenters urged immediate police involvement, raising fears of frogging, the disturbing practice of individuals covertly occupying others' residences. Thankfully, a thorough search by the user's family turned up empty, easing immediate concerns but leaving the mystery on.
I did not know that was the term for that, where somebody lives in somebody else's house without the actual owner knowing. Frogging? I did not know that. I did not know that was a thing.
Solved. When TikTok user Danielle boarded American Airlines Flight 3051 from Charlotte, North Carolina to Los Angeles, California, she settled into her usual deep sleep, describing herself as someone who hibernates on planes. But on this flight, her nap took a disturbing turn. Upon waking during a layover, Danielle discovered something deeply unsettling. A stranger, the male passenger seated directly behind her, had braided her hair without her knowledge or consent while she slept.
Seriously? People do stuff like that on planes? Why? Braid somebody else's hair? That's just wrong. Just don't do it, people.
I didn't realize until later that evening that there was a braid in my head. Now let's talk about how that happened. Now some people might say, how did you let somebody braid your hair and you didn't know? First of all, when I get on the plane, I don't sleep, I hibernate.
Danielle recalled vaguely hearing someone take pictures near her but dismissed it, not realizing the full extent of what was happening.
I'm asleep on the plane, right? And I hear ka-ch, ka-ch, ka-ch. And I said, who is taking pictures? That's the only reason why I woke up from my hibernation. Okay, so I'm like, ka-ch, ka-ch. I said, who is taking pictures?
Her TikTok video recounting the bizarre incident quickly went viral, triggering widespread shock and condemnation.
It wasn't until I got to my Airbnb to decompress, I'm about to take a shower, I'm putting my hair up, and that's when I discovered a braid in my head.
Commenters found the act invasive and creepy, sparking fierce debates about personal boundaries and consent in public spaces. Speculation ranged widely. Was this a passive-aggressive response to her hair possibly draped over the seat? A bizarre fetish? Or perhaps a strange compulsion? Danielle publicly called for the man to identify himself, though he never stepped forward. American Airlines addressed media inquiries but provided no further resolution, leaving Danielle and countless online viewers to grapple with the deeply uncomfortable mystery.
It wasn't until I got to my Airbnb to decompress, I'm about to take a shower, I'm putting my hair up, and that's when I discovered a braid in my head.
Okay, that is weird. Although I've seen people do stuff like that on planes and buses, before, especially if people do ridiculous things like toss your hair over the back of the chair and basically block the little TV in the back of each seat for the person behind them. I've seen people put gum in their hair. I've seen times where people had their feet up underneath the chair and then basically in the seat in front of them, and people pour water on them. I've seen stuff like that happen, but I've never seen anyone braid somebody else's hair. That is weird.
When you think about UFOs, you probably imagine strange lights in the sky. But what if some of the most compelling evidence lies hidden beneath our oceans? Unidentified submerged objects, or USOs, are mysterious phenomena that have baffled witnesses and authorities alike, and recent research has revealed some astonishing secrets. Esteemed UFO researcher Richard Dolan recently published a groundbreaking book that sheds new light on USOs. In a fascinating interview on the YouTube channel Disclosure Team with Vinnie Adams, Dolan elucidates on some of his eye-opening findings.
It's kind of intrinsically interesting, let's face it. You know, we're interested in seeing objects or learning about objects.
So yeah, UFOs are pretty crazy, but these ones that come from the ocean, unless there's some sort of gate under there that we haven't found, I don't, they must be earthbound, right? They're not aliens. They're, who knows, lizard people from the hollow earth? Who knows? But it's strange that there's ships and stuff coming from underwater, and they're basically treated the same as UFOs. I don't get that part.
There's some might zigzag in the air, but take off instantly. Yes, that's fascinating. But an object that is seen emerging from the ocean, I mean, come on, that's just incredible.
What started as a small research project quickly turned into something far bigger. Dolan collected nearly 700 documented cases spanning more than 3 centuries, from 1717 to 2024, revealing that encounters with underwater UFOs are far more frequent than anyone realized.
The more that I looked, the more that I found. And then I realized these interesting cases are scattered all over the world. They're scattered in all different databases. They're in different out-of-print magazines and books. And they were not grouped together in a way that people could just access. I went through thousands and thousands of potential cases and ended up with a little bit under 700.
One of Dolan's earliest documented cases dates back to 1717 off the coast of Martinique, where sailors observed strange lights beneath their ship, a chilling encounter with something clearly not human-made. Throughout the centuries, reports continued to emerge, scattered across old magazines, classified files, and obscure archives.
And the cases, the reports just go nowhere. They would sit in some filing cabinet for years and years before someone would make a note of them, and then they'd be stuck in the back end of an out-of-print magazine.
Dolan painstakingly analysed sources including MUFON, NUFORC, Water UFO, and even long-forgotten publications, creating a detailed evidence rating system to measure each report's credibility. He examined more than 15 unique data points per case, uncovering hidden patterns that raised troubling questions.
After I went through all of these nearly 700 cases, I ended up creating about 15 or so data points for each case. So I went back in there and I noted, what was the color of the object, what was the shape of the object, was how close was the witness to the object, what was it doing with the water? Was it under the waters exclusively? Did it enter the water? Did it emerge from the water? Was it on the water? All of these factors I noted. Were there effects such as...
Some of these, some historical accounts of things like this that I always thought were a little strange were the islands. Each ocean, as far as I know, has islands that would be on some maps but not on others. And locals... people indigenous to those areas would say, oh, that's the so-and-so island, and disappears every 5 years and then comes back for a year and then disappears again. Stuff like that. I always thought those were a little strange, and they might be connected with these undersea aliens, but who knows? A little hard to tell. But yeah, that's what I always thought about those stories.
Electromagnetic effects or interference of some sort.
His research revealed startling trends. For instance, military encounters with USOs had a significantly higher rate of electromagnetic interference, suggesting the objects were affecting military equipment intentionally or incidentally. Also, Dolan noticed a major shift after 1967, where daytime sightings became less frequent, with nearly 75% of sightings now occurring at night. Why this shift occurred remains a mystery.
Up until the late 1960s, it was 50%, 50-50 day versus night, right up until the end of 1967. And then after that, I swear it felt like someone flipped a switch and they went to 75% occurring at night. To this day.
Some places seem to attract USOs more than others. Catalina Island off California, the coast of Puerto Rico, and the waters near Italy and the Persian Gulf are all hotspots. Even the eastern coast of the US is teeming with underwater mysteries, suggesting that the oceans hide something incredible, perhaps even hidden underwater bases.
Puerto Rico absolutely is a hotspot in my opinion, as is Catalina Island off of Los Angeles there, among other places.
Could underwater UFO sightings indicate secret alien facilities beneath our oceans? Dolan speculates these submerged bases could provide perfect concealment and protection from human eyes. After all, more than 80% of our oceans remain unexplored, the ideal environment for something extraordinary to remain hidden. Take the case from 1952 near Shemya Island, Alaska. Witnesses reported a massive glowing object descending into the ocean, creating enormous waves. Authorities investigated but found no explanation. It remains a terrifying yet obscure chapter in USO history. Then there's the bizarre incident near Big Sur, California, where a massive triangular craft was seen silently hovering, dropping glowing orbs directly into the sea before vanishing. This event deeply puzzled witnesses who remain convinced they saw an extraterrestrial craft operating openly in our waters.
And the man was so excited, he runs to the water ahead of his girlfriend, and he's screaming at the triangular craft, "Take me with you."
Governments worldwide have begun paying serious attention to USOs. From the famous 2004 USS Nimitz Tic Tac incident, where pilots saw an object hovering over disturbed waters, to the mysterious 2013 Aguadilla case in Puerto Rico captured clearly on thermal imaging, authorities acknowledge these events but rarely offer satisfying explanations. Some propose these sightings are top-secret military tech, hypersonic vehicles capable of transitioning seamlessly between water and air. But can even secret programs explain all these encounters spanning centuries? Others suggest we're dealing with non-human intelligence, aliens using oceans as hidden bases, or perhaps beings originating right here on Earth in undiscovered habitats. Stranger still, could these objects be visitors from another dimension entirely? Of course, skeptics point out natural explanations like marine life, optical illusions, and camera malfunctions. Yet when incidents like the USS Omaha video clearly show an orb descending directly into the ocean, the conventional explanations seem to fall short. Recent official investigations from the US government's AARO have brought new legitimacy to USO research, acknowledging transmedium objects as a significant focus. As Dolan's findings demonstrate, these aren't isolated cases. They're part of a global phenomenon that's been overlooked for centuries.
They have an alien base, 2 miles from your house under the ground. Do you want to know that? What would we do if we learned that there's an active engagement that many of them are having with our planet every single day?
With nearly 700 documented cases over 3 centuries, Richard Dolan's research makes one thing clear. Our ocean's harbour mysteries were only beginning to uncover. Are USOs proof of alien visitation, advanced technology, or something even more incredible? Until we have answers, the seas remain one of our planet's greatest mysteries. Before we get to that #1 spot, remember to hit that subscribe button, then tickle that little bell icon there and turn on all channel notifications. That way you'll be in the loop every time we drop our scary and mysterious videos. In early 2025, Russia secretly launched 3 military satellites, Cosmos 2581, 2582 and 2583, from the Plesetsk Cosmodrome. Shortly after reaching orbit, these satellites began behaving strangely, performing unexplained maneuvers that appeared to simulate military attack and defense tactics. Then,
There was a movie about this, right? Where I think it was an individual or somebody else would launch a satellite, and then the satellites would attack other satellites and either destroy them or bug them so they can be spied upon. I'm not sure which. I think it might have been a James Bond movie or something. I forget what it is, where it came from, but I remember seeing something like that before. So if these satellites did that, that would be kind of cool.
Mid-March, trackers detected something unsettling. One of these secretive satellites suddenly released a smaller, unidentified object into orbit. The US Space Force quickly catalogued the mysterious object, but Russia remained silent, offering no official explanation. Experts and analysts quickly speculated this could be a new kind of anti-satellite weapon designed to disable or spy on other satellites. Given Russia's history of developing space weapons, including their controversial 2021 anti-satellite missile test, many feared this was a similar demonstration of military capability. However, not everyone agrees. Some experts suggest the object could simply be a test payload or technology demonstration unrelated to offensive tactics. But
that is quite possible. Sending a satellite up to also resupply a space station or something would be an interesting use of a payload system. Like have a small cargo compartment go up with a communications satellite, and then once it's in a certain orbit that they'll know it'll get to the space station, and the space station can grab it. It drops it and just drifts away. That would be kind of cool.
Russia remaining tight-lipped, the true nature of this mysterious satellite launch remains unknown, leaving many to wonder what exactly is orbiting our planet right now.
Now, if you want to see some more spooky content, then hit those links right there. They'll keep you entertained for hours and hours. Leave us some feedback down in the comments. Which one of these clips you thought was the scariest or weirdest? We love hearing your feedback. And that's it for me. I'll see you all next time.
And that was another Fright Night Friday video with Slapped Ham. That was actually really good. Some scary stuff, some stuff to make you think. Like those last 2 articles, the USO and the satellite article were kind of interesting to think about. A couple other ones were a little spookier. And then there was that kind of sad one where there was the shootout between a local and a ghost hunter. That was kind of weird. But if you enjoyed this, drop a like, leave a comment down below, and subscribe because it's free. Helps out the channel. And I'll catch you all next week for another Fright Night Friday. Bye-bye.